Alright, so that was Tom Waits' Hell Broke Luce from the Punisher soundtrack, Season 1, Episode 1. And that track is from the album Bad As Me.
Right.
Which is actually kind of a recent album. It's 2011. But yeah,
I'm so glad I wore this t-shirt today.
Exactly. I was like, holy shit.
It's perfect.
There we go.
Not planned. That's a great video.
It is, actually.
It's so cool.
And I remember the first time I heard that song, because the Punisher soundtrack, like, it has that kind of like country rock kind of thing for the opening, like this roots rock kind of vibe. So I always just assumed this track, because this track comes on, if you remember, like, he takes a job as a construction guy, and there's shit going down, he's trying to stay out of it, and finally just lets the Punisher loose, you know? And this is the song that plays whilst he's kicking everyone's ass.
Yeah.
And I assumed it was like a score.
Right, yeah.
But I think like I rewatched it a couple months ago. I've been rewatching like the Netflix Marvel shows, and I could hear lyrics, and I was like, a part of me was like, is that Tom Waits? So I looked it up online, and sure enough, it was a Tom Waits song. And Tom Waits is one of those guys I've always wanted to check out, but
yeah,
like when you look at playlists of like, okay, Tom Waits' best stuff, it's a lot of the earlier stuff, and it's a lot like very singer-songwritery stuff. But my impression of him because I got introduced to Tom Waits in movies.
Yeah.
You know,
same.
Mystery Man.
As an actor.
Yeah, Mystery Man.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Domino.
Shortcuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he seemed like this eccentric guy.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and then I watched this Keith Richards documentary that's on Netflix, and Tom Waits is in there because they collaborated. And again, you're looking at his studio like, this guy seems odd. So the two, like, I was like, what is the music that this guy makes?
Yeah.
And so from this, I got to discover like, okay, which period where he started experimenting with stuff. And this album is awesome. Like,
is the whole album kind of like similar to that, or is it like different kinds of stuff?
It's different kinds of genres, different kinds of stuff, but the way it's recorded is like, I'm listening to it, and as a music producer, I'm like, what is this? Is this a band? Is this a loop? You know, like, how is this?
What's the name of the album again?
Bad As Me.
Bad As Me. Yeah, because this is not the kind of song that I would expect from Tom Waits.
Okay, this is exactly what I would kind of expect based on the persona that I've seen.
Right. See, like, I've only really seen him in movies. I haven't really seen him in interviews and stuff. I haven't really seen much behind-the-scenes footage of him or anything like that. But he's always been one of those like artists that I've been interested to try and figure out a little bit more about, but just never really did. Yeah. Because it just kind of like, you know, there are some artists that have been around forever that it almost feels like too much work.
Yes,
you know,
exactly, because he's been around for ages.
Yeah, it's like, oh god, like, you know, it's like Dylan, like Bob Dylan.
Yeah, and you kind of just need that one track that lets you in.
Yeah.
So a lot of the like recommended tracks on Apple Music, I'm like, nah, I'm not. It's a good song, it's just not hitting me. And then this album, I was like, okay, now I found some shit that's interesting. Because even the ballads and the slow songs are done in a really unique way. It just sounds, it's got a really unique sound, and like, I love his voice.
Yeah, no, he's got a very, very unique voice. Like, right off the bat, like, you know it's him. Yeah.
So, like, I mean, the only other song where I was like, okay, maybe it was a Beavis and Butthead track, where he's basically underneath a diner table playing a ukulele with a tiny mic.
Right.
Which is done up like a stage, whilst intercutting to him dressed as the devil in high heels, riding a tricycle around some poo. So it's...
I mean, what's not to like?
Exactly, but I was like, okay.
What was the name of that one?
I can't remember the name of that song. If I do, I'll pop it up in the video.
Yeah, send me the link for this album, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to check this out, just in case I don't remember.
It's an awesome album.
Bad As Me.
Bad As Me.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So now I finally found, like, a rabbit hole to get into with the Tom Waits stuff. So I'm checking out that journey even more. So, yeah. Awesome album.
Cool. All right, so next we're moving on to Forgotten Gems.
Yes, that's right. And I don't know why I always got these mixed around. I always assume Forgotten Gems is first.
I mean, I guess, you know, it's understandable. It's understandable how you might make that mistake.
But this order still makes sense, so we're sticking to it.
All right, then. Okay, so moving on to Forgotten Gems. So I have chosen Blues Traveler for the album 4, and the track that I want to play from the album is Run Around.
All right.